Idea of why I'm asking these questions about Port Covington is because in my class we are discussing two sides of an argument in a situation like this where the economy and poverty rates are very high. So specifically, about 25% of Baltimore residents are below the poverty line presently. Um, and so the two sides of the argument, the first is a socialist which believes that we should leave the economy alone and that it will build on its by itself. And then the classic liberal side is sort of similar to what we are doing right now. The Port Covington project is investing money into the economy, and hoping that it will benefit everyone. But we know that in reality that is not always the case, seeing that there is a little bit of corruption, and that people with higher power will misuse that money, and then people lower down on the chain will not reap the benefits of that investment. So we would like to know what your views are on how will this project really go all the way down and help those people on the lower part of the socioeconomic chain, if you will, and like so because this project seems more like the latter, the classic liberal side, which we're investing loads of money, billions of dollars over many years, and it may not help everyone. So, um, which which what are your views on this topic?
So, from my perspective, economic development is not one size fits all, and there's not one solution for each kind of obstacle that people who come from low economic income backgrounds, to try to help them better themselves and better their economic situation. So for example, a project like this is not going to necessarily directly increase the educational opportunities for people in Baltimore City. That's many times pointed to as one of the threshold obstacles, to people being in a position to better themselves from an economic perspective. And another thing to think about is, a project like this or real estate development is not necessarily going to directly repair socioeconomic disparity in the sense of, children who have hunger, children who have, health issues, public health issues such as things like lead poisoning, or
But
people who don't always get a full meal every day, right? Like this money is not going to directly cure those ills. However, when you have this kind of economic development and you have this kind of investment by Baltimore City, it is really designed to create an all ships rise together approach to economic development and economic betterment for citizens. The idea is, you're creating, a possibility for additional jobs for people of all socioeconomic backgrounds. And, you also create, other businesses to the area that would presumably want to be around this kind of economic development engine. But there's a project like this and an economic investment like this is not designed to cure, what are, many times some very difficult obstacles for people in, blighted areas. A perfect